It is January 19th, so the question is, what are you playing? But let's talk also about some game engine stuff. But so last night we were playing Fistful of Frags, and it's fun. And next week we're going to play Neo Tokyo. It's something weird happened where people are insisting you had to pay money for these games. No, they're free mods. We always choose free mods on purpose. So we're going to be playing Neo Tokyo. You can get it off on Steam. And then I think we're going to play some Left 4 Dead 2 custom campaigns with a smaller group. But if you have suggestions for that, let me know. But so that's for that. But for this weekend, I'm actually going to be screwing around, probably just in some Unreal while I'm watching football. It's a horrible league, but an amazing sport. And so with that, I need something I take breaks from and play around. And so the question came up yesterday in the, so first of all, let me know what you're playing this weekend, especially if there's something a little small that I can play around games and stuff. And because I also have family stuff I have to do, not all games, but, with that, the conversation came up yesterday of engines, and someone was like, hey, I'm going to build my own, I want to get into the game industry, so I'm going to build my own game engine. You're not going to get in the game industry that way. You're going to build your own game engine. That shows you're a tinkerer, and that's fine. Like, if you just want to screw around and make an engine, let me be clear. Everybody's got different things in their life that they want, and different goals, and man, if you just want to tinker and play, that's awesome. But if you want to solve problems and get hired by a game team, making your engine is like kind of a red flag, because it's showing that you're making a choice of prioritization, and really you're not learning how modern games engines are made, right? You're just not going to replicate what's got to be, hundreds of thousands of man hours on a modern engine now by yourself in the basement. If you want to learn about, hey, I don't know how rendering works, well, you're going to learn a lot more about rendering, because you can go Unreal, it's got source code. I think Unity has access to source code now, right? Like, you can dive into these engines, you can look at them, you can learn a lot, and you can express yourself in a game form, and you can understand. If you're just making these things in a black box without any feedback, without anything, you're not actually solving hard problems. Hard problems are, I want to do this in a game. Oh, this is stopping me. How do I fix this? Right? Like, that's how I learn. I'm like, I want to replicate this. How do I do that? And I start monkeying around, and it's just like, oh, wait, I don't know how to do this. I'm going to learn this. I learned Maya last year. I want to learn Blender instead, because I don't want to keep the Maya license going. But like, I don't know, like you learn that because you have a hard problem that you have to solve. Like, I know really rudimentary animation because it's the same thing. If you're just building an engine on your own, again, if that's what you want to do for fun, that's fine. But if you come and ask me, how do I get a job in the game industry? I'm going to build my own engine. That's not a good path. That just isn't. I know got beat up saying this a few years ago on Twitter by somebody who took it out of context. I'm not saying we don't need game engines. I'm not saying we don't need game engineers. But when you don't show the ability to prioritize or fix hard problems, it's less valuable. Like, think about it. If you're making an Unreal game, who do you want to hire? The person who has implemented procedural animation using Unreal, or the person who made their own game engine and makes something that looks worse than Minecraft? Right? Like, unless you're making something that looks worse than Minecraft. Minecraft looks pretty good now. That's a weird slag. But you know what I'm saying, right? Like, that's how you solve hard problems. And I'll tell you what, the amazing thing is, you load up Unity or Unreal, either one. I don't care. And you don't load up Godot, but we'll get in Godot in a sec. You load up either one of those and just go at it. Like, just start saying, I want to do this, and then go look and go, is there something from the marketplace I could download for free that'll help me do this? Oh, I'm going to learn. This is junk, but bad, right? Hey, but I would say always start with, hey, I want to solve this problem, or I want to do this. I want to play this thing in game, and then try it. And you'll see sometimes things are like, oh my God, that's amazingly easy. Like, there's a animation advanced locomotion system version 4 or something. You can download that, man. All of a sudden you're like, well, I'm doing amazing and magical things, and I haven't done anything except load up a game. Like, it's fun. Like, you're right. But then say I want to do something, because then you learn, because you say, oh, no, I got to learn how to do this because this isn't working. I got to solve this problem, right? If you're just like, this is a hard problem, I'm going to do something else. That's a tinkerer, right? You see these people on Twitter, especially, where they have posted now for 700 years about their game. They show amazing little screenshots or amazing little parts of it, or they do this little, like, that guy swings really cool, right? right? Or it's some mix of animation or something, and you're like, oh, that's not the hard part. The hard part's making a game out of it, having something that grabs you, that takes you to the next level, or just literally is the thing that you wanted to do, right? And so that's what separates the tinkerer, which again, man, if you just want to, like, you got a full-time job, you're raising a family, and you just want to tinker with games, do it. But like, if you want to actually take the next step, you got to solve some hard problems. And then you got to be the person who can solve hard problems. I'm not that smart. I solved weird hard problems. Like, I've at work, because I'm not going to tell you here because there's some of this is in public, but like, wait, you did that? I'm like, yeah. I went to Korea because I had to go like give a talk for this thing because that was a dumb thing. It's a hard problem. It's not a hard problem. It's a stupid problem, but yeah, I can solve that stupid problem, right? I've been on the road where we were demoing games and didn't have the right computers, didn't have the right keyboards, and the person helping me set it up was just an idiot. Who's just like, well, let's go to the bar and drink now. And I'm like, no, we're going to solve this. And I'm in the middle of 3 a.m. in the middle of the English countryside. I got computers, right? Because that's not game programming, but I can solve hard problems in the sense of I can solve the problems thrown at me. And that's what you need to be able to do. And that's how you display it, by trying to do something. And you do it with a modern engine. Why do you do it with a modern engine? Because that's what you're going to make your game in, most likely. Now, there's people who play in Source, and I play a bunch of Source mods. I love Source mods. They're super awesome. They're super cool. But if you're just doing Source mods, there's a limited ability for you to, like, people use Unity and Unreal because of the giant marketplaces behind them and their track record for shipping, right? And almost everybody now, it's pretty easy on Unity and Unreal. It's not press one button, but it's pretty easy to ship on multiple platforms. It's not on Godot at all. You can't do it on Godot. This is one of the reasons why I say don't develop on Godot, right? Godot is a fine tinkerer. It's fine to have fun with it. But look at who ships games and on what platforms, and there's a reason they do that. You want something that's been shipped and gone through the ringer a bunch of times. And really right now, that's Unity and Unreal. Look at, like, people were, hey, Roblox. Roblox, again, great place for tinker and have some fun. Absolutely. But look at the cut they make. That's why Lethal Company was made on Steam. You know what I'm saying? Released on Steam versus Roblox, right? And again, you can learn so much in those tinker things. I remember the SFM, when we released that, have a guy coming up to me telling me he got hired by an animation studio because of an SFM video he made. That is awesome, right? Because he displayed the ability to do the end work, right? And yes, it is unfair because it is always the flashy, cool things that get passed around and shared and get, mind share, right? I mean, it's kind of like, thank God I'm a comedy writer, because nobody passes around clips of like really serious acting, but they may pass around clips of funny stuff. And it's just the way the world works. So I say all this because, this weekend I'm going to muck around with Unreal and have some fun and shoot little robot-y things and like you can just have dumb fun. And if you've never tried it, try it. It's not that hard. Don't be scared off by it. And again, Unreal or Unity, I'm fine with either one. Or again, Godot if you're just planning on not shipping. But again, if you want to ship a commercial product, look at where you want to ship, what are people using, and there's probably a reason for that. Humans are stupid, but as a whole, we're really smart. And this is one of those things. So I don't want to get in an engine war. I probably start an engine war. Because if you're just having fun and you just want to goof around, do whatever you want. And if you just want to goof around and make a game engine, man, go. But like the days of that being the way to get into the industry is way long gone. And it's way more about doing something interesting inside of the space that you can then share and show that you can solve hard problems. Man, I'm just going to get in a lot of trouble for slagging on stuff, aren't I? I don't know. It's one of those, someone's honestly asking me about like that starting and playing, and they're talking about design and they're talking about, I don't say light engineering, because if you're heavy engineering, you already know. You should just really look at what people are using to ship and then choose Lumberyard by Amazon.